Speaking of legal problems, Ramesh, you wrote a really tough column this week declaring that the Obama administration in some ways is pretty lawless.
Well, I'm sure there are lots of laws the administration obeys, but the administration does have a troubling habit of just ignoring laws that it disagrees with. I mean, think about what it did on immigration, basically it took what the DREAM Act, which creates an amnesty for the children who were brought here illegally. And there's a great case that Congress should pass that law. But what the administration did was just act as though Congress had passed the law when it hadn't. That's not the way the system's supposed to work.
Margaret, lawless?
I mean, my lawlessness is Watergate and Iran-Contra and...
Boy, you have a high standard.
President Bush manipulating... manipulating the entire intelligence apparatus to prosecute a war that killed nearly 5,000 Americans. I think Obama's problem is that he hasn't, balanced in the reporter, in the leak thing, the need to know versus, getting at leaks about national security. Just balance it better.
But you both would agree that this is a really, not only embattled, but beleaguered, but really an attorney general that doesn't have a whole lot of credibility left.
Well, I would say the IRS is the serious scandal among all the ones that are out there, because we have to trust the tax collector. It touches us all. We'll lose faith in government entirely, and that must be fixed. Even though I think it's not. It is a clumsiness problem, not... These 501c4s have to be shut down.
But Ramesh, it's the Attorney General that's investigating the IRS.
And he's also investigating himself. Remember, President Obama gave him the task of investigating the question of how the administration is approaching the free press.
Right.
And we know that Holder signed off on the searches that have been widely criticized as going too far. I think Holder has shown really appalling judgment, and the latest version of that is trying to meet with media heads and talk about how the administration is approaching the press and saying it's going to be off the record.
Talking in secret about secret spying that he was supposedly doing. Margaret, let me just ask you this. The great romance. The great romance. Barack Obama, Chris Christie, continue this week. Can it last?
Yeah, lovely pictures. I think it's a good one when there's plywood on the windows and the boardwalk is down. And it will last through the governor's race in a highly Democratic state. When the breakup begins, and I want to warn the president now, his phone calls aren't going to be returned. The governor's going to say, this hurts me more than it hurts you, but we're just not going to be able to see each other anymore.
Ramesh, you're an incurable romantic. You don't believe that, do you?
Far be it from me to suggest that politics might be involved in this relationship. I do think the question is going to be, if Christie runs for president, do Republican primary voters hold this closeness with Obama against him in 2016. And I think actually he could be okay, because I think Republicans after 2 Obama terms are going to be looking for a winner, and if he wins convincingly in New Jersey and this relationship with Obama is going to help him do that, then he might still be able to get those primary votes.
Incurable romantic or not, I think you're absolutely right. I think you all are great, and thank you very much for being with us, and thank you for joining us. We'll see you again.